Hi, how are you? Happy 11/11/11. So I've been receiving a lot of information, a lot of energy over the past few days, but tonight it's really amplified, and that's because of the 11/11 portal that is now fully open. Everything is amplified, everything is magnified. This is a time for you to manifest. This is a time for you to connect with the things that you really want to bring forth. Wherever you're at in this moment, as you go through this energy, you're going to amplify it. So if you're not in a good space, if you're feeling like you want to disconnect, if you're feeling like, you know, negative thoughts or anything like that, it's going to amplify. So you really got to try to pull yourself out of it. In the bottom of the deck that I just pulled out, we have 11, which is cosmic connection. So we really need to open up to that cosmic energy that's available to us. And it's funny because we have the Pleiadian lineup coming, and so that energy is already here too. And every year in November, it's intense because we have the 11/11 portal that opens. This year in a year 11, so that is going to amplify as well. And it's just, if you add everything up, you know, the 2018, if you add that up, it's an 11. So in numerology, it's 11/11/11. Usually this time of year, it's like 11/11/10 or 11/11/8 or whatever. This year, it's all three. So everything's going to be amplified even more than it normally is. Now, it's normally amplified because of the 11/11 and the Pleiadian lineup. So we already have the energy of Alcyon, the great central sun, Pleiades, above us. And we're like positioned in such a way that that energy just like comes straight down from the Pleiades. Like if I was to go outside right now and look up, they'd be right there. And this energy increases throughout the month. So I know it changes a little bit over the years. But for me, the information I received about this is that from the 15th to the 20th, we have the Pleiadian lineup. And so the height of it would be the 17th, 18th, and 19th. And basically, the Pleiadian lineup is a time where different things go on for starseeds. So if you have that cosmic connection anyway, you want to utilize that right now in the 11/11 portal, and as you move forward in this energy, and as you move forward through this month. We are going to have stuff going on with our soul too. So if you have a mirror soul here on the earth with you, you're going to feel intensified connections with that. Try not to go into a place in your mind of separation or illusion or allowing, you know, negative things to come to the forefront. Try to go to unconditional love. You see, or even here, the heart chakra is expanded. And it's being rippled out through the hands, and it's being enhanced through this energy, and it's just like flowing out. And you see here, the heart is where it's important. We need to really like let go of ego, let go of fear, let go of rejection, let go of control, of wanting to be somebody in control, or wanting to be somebody who calls all the shots, or, you know, whatever. Whatever is connected to the ego, if you're having fears in connection to a 3D partnership, that is going to be intensified. So you really want to make sure you're going into a place of unconditional love. Now, anyway, with the 11/11 portal, if you're unaware of your cosmic partner or unaware of your mirrored soul being here on Earth, they do exist. You know, it's like we incarnate here into duality. So we do have a split of our energy somewhere manifested. Not all of them are here on Earth. Some are in higher dimensions. So even if yours is in another dimension, you want to be coming from a place of unconditional love to bring union for your own awareness, for your own connection, so that you can amplify the energy that you bring forth through you, and that you can manifest here in the 3D easier. So when you integrate the energy of your I am presence, or your soul, or your duality, when you balance the light and the dark, when you balance the, you know, shadow, you really expand into new areas. It's, you know, the card I have right here is balance, number 2. And so it's funny because before I jumped on here, I was receiving tons of information in regards to the portal that we have, and in regards to the lineup. And when I looked at the clock, I was at 22% on my battery, and it was 12:22, and I had like 22 notifications on my phone. So there was a lot of 2s coming through, and I had just finished writing up a post about the 1111 portal and how important it is for you to stay in a high vibration. Disconnect from the stuff that you know is going to bring you down. If you're getting triggered, get away from it. Get into some sort of way that you know you can raise your vibe. If you have to watch a funny thing, if you have to, you know, connect with your pets, get outside, connect with nature, connect with Gaia would be big right now. But that's the main thing that we need to do. But with the energy of the 2 coming in so strong too, it's showing us that our things are already manifesting. So the 1111 is like, hey, it's an awakener. And you should have already been seeing it leading up to now. Like I'm sure you've seen other people talking about this by now. So you've seen the 1111. The 222 energy is there to show you that things that are inside of your mind, the things that you're thinking or focusing on or feeling, are being manifested into your reality. So you have that choice as you're the creator of your reality to be the dictator. Are you going to come from a place of balance? Are you going to come from a place of a cosmic connection with unconditional love rippled out so that you can, you know, manifest in this limitless energy and awaken more of yourself? We have limitless and awaken, and this is 20 and this is 1. So again, we're getting the 2s and the 1s. This is going to awaken you on deeper levels, okay? It's going to bring out that limitless potential that you have inside of you that's just awaiting to be seen. So you want to tap into the energy of your third eye with that cosmic connection, with the intention to connect with the energy of Alcyon, or to connect with the energy of Source, or to connect with the energy of anything that feels appropriate for you. Tomorrow would be a great day to connect with the energy of the 1111 portal. Tonight, you know, we're already in that energy. So when you do your meditations, close your eyes and intend to connect with the energy of the 1111 frequency of that portal, you know, and it's like they've got that portal there, and bring it down through all of your chakras. And when it hits your heart, push it down your arms, throughout your hands, and push that out into the world so you can assist in awakening others. Like this is what you're here to do. You're here to awaken yourself to deeper consciousness. You're here to bring balance to the earth, and you're here to awaken others. If you've got this star-seeded connection, if you're a twin flame, you know, you've got a big mission here. And through this balance, through the union of duality, through, you know, and it's not running away from the darkness or healing the darkness completely. It's embracing and surrendering into the darkness. It's embracing and surrendering control. It's embracing and surrendering into the fact that you are in this human existence. And when you surrender into it fully and you balance fully, you come into a divine union. And so that will be rippled to you in the physical world as well. You may have somebody come in, which is going to bring me to the next thing, that brings forth this energy of your twin or your union. This is basically you. They call it your twin. They call it your mirrored soul. They call it things because they want to put a label on it, but it's basically you uniting with you. And when you unite with you, everything outside of you comes together. And that energy is here. It's already been like amplified. It's already like things are manifesting very quickly. I'm feeling it, you know, like tomorrow I'm doing the star rates during the day, and I've got people coming out of the woodworks to take it. And unfortunately, I only went and got 6 manuals, and I have 6 people already booked to come in. So I had to tell the other people, you know, I'll be doing it again. And then tomorrow night I have the 1111 portal activation that I'm doing here. And I got people out of the woodworks for that. So I really am working on getting a way to bring that forth to a bigger audience. And I keep getting confirmation with that too. There's people who reach out to me and ask me if there's a way I can do it with them. There's people who are reaching out and saying, oh, is this an event online? So I'm really going to get those events to you. And that is part of my intention as I go through this portal, to do that, to stop, you know, allowing things to distract me, to, you know, stop allowing this like physical representation of separation to distract me. You know, I've found that at times I've allowed this situation in the physical to keep me from doing things that I'm supposed to be doing. Like, it almost consumes your mind at times, and it consumes your actions at times. Like, you want to not do certain things, or you want to do certain things based off of it. And it's surrendering into that and acknowledging it and not running away from it, not being able, you know, speaking your truth. You know, none of us are perfect. We all have something inside of us that we have to heal. We all have stuff that needs to come up to the surface to be cleansed and to be released. And this is the most important thing, is the unconditional love for self. Because if you can't love yourself unconditionally, you can't love another person unconditionally. So you can't bring union in unless you're in a good place internally. You know, you can connect with your person and then go into separation, and connect with your person and go into separation. But until you really fully are emanating unconditional love for yourself, when you're in your mission, when you're doing your work, when you're not so consumed and focused on something outside of yourself, and it doesn't have to be this, it can be anything. If you're not feeling a place of balance in your life, then, you know, things aren't going to manifest for you properly. And it's going to keep you from awakening to this deeper level. But as a starseed, part of the mission that you have here is to awaken others and to tap into this limitless energy that we have. And there's portals opening all the time. The 1111 is a big one that everybody acknowledges and notices. It's funny because I went to Staples tonight to get the manuals for tomorrow. And I was going to, like, say happy whatever to this woman behind the counter in regards to the portal. Because to me, it is a celebration. To me, it is a holiday. You know, like, this is a big thing for us in the spiritual community because we understand it. We know how potent it is. And we know how important it is to go through it in alignment. And if you don't know it, you're receiving the information. And so the other part of that was coming up too is, as we go into the Pleiadian lineup, things that are associated with the Pleiadian lineup are the energy of the Pleiades comes in, and it awakens more energy inside of the starseeds. It connects us more with that vibration of unconditional love, because the Pleiades does hold unconditional love. Some of the things that happen can be experiments or walk-in souls. And tonight I had, you know, I did a little blog post and I shared some stuff, because I do have an event coming in on the 18th for the lineup. And people ask me, what is a walk-in soul? So for me, what a walk-in soul is, it can come forth in different ways. So you may have this happen with you. And this can happen in regards to, like, your, you know, this type of stuff too, with the mirrored souls or the twin flames, things like that. So if there is a physical representation here on Earth, this could apply. So a walk-in soul can come into a soul that is already here incarnated on Earth. And it's like, because we have multidimensional reality, because we have multidimensional consciousness, because we have all of this stuff available to us, before we come in here, we dictate what we're going to do in this lifetime. And if your soul is on a path and it's like veering too far off of the path, like there's just no hope left for this soul, a walk-in soul can come in and be like, and the energy or the consciousness that was in that person shifts, and a new consciousness is replaced, and it puts them back into alignment with the path. And so that can happen with people who have a twin flame. You know, you may find all of a sudden, like, your counterpart is like completely different or completely awakened and on the right path. This can happen in anybody, though. Some people awaken, or they incarnate basically at an older age. So it could be like a human, normal, and then all of a sudden there's something that happens, and those ones are usually associated with, like, a near-death experience, or like a very spiritual experience. Like, I believe it has happened inside of the Great Pyramid, where somebody has gone into the pyramid and they have, like, this thing happen, and when they wake up, they have no memory of their experience here on Earth. They have no memory of the people that they've been with. They have no memory of that lifetime that they lived. And as they go forth from that moment, they are awakened. Like, they're bringing in cosmic consciousness. They're bringing in that connection. They understand it. They get it. They're limitless. The minute they come in, they're balanced and good. And that is so they can fulfill the mission that the other one may not have been able to. So that is one aspect of what a walk-in soul is. And that is one way you can experience it. And that's a very extreme way to experience it. You know, like, it could happen to you. Or it could happen to somebody that you know. It could happen to somebody if you're in a relationship, like with a 3D expression of your soul here on Earth. because that's basically what this is. Another way it can happen is a walk-in soul can come in and it's like predetermined, like they know where you're going to be before you be there, and this energy of, or this consciousness comes into a human form and interacts with you in some way. Now, I've had this happen many times, and you feel it. You know it. You know on a core level that something about this person is different. You don't even have to talk to them to know it. You will just know it. It's an inner knowing, it's a feeling, it's an experience that you'll know once you've had it. And you may be like, aha, that's what it is, just from hearing this information. So like, there's been times that like I've walked in, so on my trip to South Carolina when my mom passed, I brought the ashes down to spread because she had loved the beach. And on my way there, we had stopped at, numerous gas stations to get gas. There was the same woman, I swear to God, and it wasn't like she was following along and traveling on the same path. No, like this woman was in a uniform every single time. It was a different uniform every single time, but it was the same woman every single time. And she never talked to me. She would always be in the store somewhere, situated in the store, and make eye contact with me. And that's how I knew it was the same person, because of the eye contact. And I was like, how is this even possible? And the whole way there, we had hawks. Like 3 hawks would circle above us. And I know it wasn't the same hawks the whole way. I mean, it could have been. But, there was always hawks circling above us. And it was like every time I would look up and see the hawks, we would get off to get gas. We would go into a store to get something. And it was like this lady was there like, hi. And that is one way you can experience them. Now, there's other ways too. Like you can go to a cashier and be like cashing out, and the person is a walk-in soul. Now, in those instances, it's not as big. Like it could be just somebody there watching you to protect you, or to, bring your awareness to that. It's almost like a confirmation for you. And it can mean different things. It can be for different things. So it's really about trusting yourself when those moments happen, and be still in those moments. Like in those moments, still your mind. And ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What is this showing me? And you may find that like you were frustrated, you were feeling a little pissed off, you're like, oh, I wish this person in front of me would hurry up, or you had just been cut off in traffic, or something along those lines, and your vibe might have, gone down. They come in to kind of like bring it back up, and the way that their energy is with you, it just makes you come back into this stillness so that you can be like, okay, all right, and then you like have a good interaction with the person. And this can happen anywhere. I mean, you could be walking through the grocery store and somebody just walks up to you and asks you where something is, or somebody just says something to you about like you. You'll feel it, because it feels different. Like as an empath, we often have that happen where we go into a store and like somebody's like, hey, do you know where this is? Or they just assume that you work there. You get on a train and the people next to you are like, blah, 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 blah. They tell you their whole life story. So we're used to those interactions, but when you have that type of interaction with a walk-in soul, you feel it, because they're not like an earthly soul. They're not full of ego. They don't have the narcissistic stuff. They don't have the bullshit stuff. They don't have that type of vibe. They have that balanced type of energy where you feel awakened when you walk away from it, and they come from this beautiful place of unconditional love. So you'll feel it, and it's kind of bringing you into this, like, hey, wake up, get into gratitude. Because gratitude is the way to expansion as well. So as you go through the 1111 portal, if you want to manifest abundance into your existence, if you want to change your life, you really need to start getting grateful towards what's already there. And I know it's difficult for some people to find things that they're like, yeah, this is great. But I guarantee there are things to be grateful for. When I started trying to manifest my way out of the situation I was in, I started this book, and every single day I increased the amount of things that I was going to write in the book for what I was grateful for. So on like the first day of the month, it was like, I am grateful for blah blah blah, And then on the second day, it was 2 things. And then by the 30th, it was like I was writing 30 things that I was grateful for. And as the month progressed, it got more difficult because every day I was adding more and more and more things. So it was like 29 things on this day. There were 17 things on this day. And I was trying to come up with things that were different. You know, some days, and it doesn't have to be anything big, you know. I remember one time I had coconut cream cookies and I was like, oh, I'm grateful for these. Like, I was grateful for my dog. I was grateful for incense. I was grateful for candles. I was grateful for crystals. I was grateful for anything you can think of that's in your existence that you enjoy, that brings you some sort of energy inside of you that's like, oh, I like this, you know. And it can be like the lung, it can be the air in your lungs, it can be the earth beneath your feet, it can be your feet that have carried you on your journey. You know, think about where you would be without your feet. And if you're somebody without your feet, think about how much more it would suck to be like without something else. And you find that the people who have like lost limbs, or have they had like some sort of horrible physical thing that happened to them, they overcome it with so much like energy about it. They're like, I'm not letting this hold me back, and they overcome it. And not everybody does that, but it shows you the power of your consciousness, the creator energy inside of you that you have, the choice that you have. We have unlimited choices. We have unlimited experiences here for us. We live in a multiverse. We have all of these energies available to us. We live in this timeline right here where we're at right now. But we can reach over into any of these other ones that are coexisting with us. We can reach into the future, or what we perceive to be the future, because everything is coexisting in this now moment. Everything is here. Everything you've ever thought exists. Everything you've ever experienced exists. And it exists here with us. So if you experience something that felt good, reach right into that energy and anchor it to where you are so you can duplicate it again. But you have the choice to make that conscious decision to say, all right, I'm going to rise above this. I'm going to tap into that unlimited energy that I've got. I'm going to emit this vibration of unconditional love, and I'm going to celebrate my life. I'm going to celebrate what I already have. I'm going to celebrate the seeds that have been planted inside of me that are waiting to be grown into full energy and into full light. And it's a conscious decision. It's a choice that you have. You know, you can have 2 people who went through the same exact thing. Like maybe they went through the same exact type of accident. They had the same type of fatality, or, you know, something happened that was not good. And maybe they lost people, and maybe they lost part of their limbs. You know, they were left different from where they went in. They both have that choice to be like, all right, I'm going to take this and I'm going to rise above it. Or they can be like a victim of it and, you know, fall down. So really, it is a choice. And you see this happen all the time. You see these people, you know, like they get put on social media, or they get, you know, on the news or whatever. It's like so-and-so went through this tragic blah, 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 and they've risen above it. And they've taken all of that stuff and they've been able to do this. And because they're able to do that, it continues to rise them up into celebration. They get the recognition from outside because other people are like, oh my God, that's amazing. Because they can't, you know, feel it for themselves. They're like, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine what that would be like, or I can't imagine overcoming that. You know, like I met somebody recently who had gone through so much stuff in their life, and instead of allowing it to like take them down, they rose above it and they made an amazing life for themselves. And they're smart about their choices. You know, they got an Uber instead of driving that night because they were going to be drinking for the, what do you call it? The baseball thing. I can't remember. It was the World Series. But, you know, they had, the people that were in their lives, they had lost somebody very young, and somebody else had been, you know, an alcoholic. So they could have followed that path very easily and allowed things that had happened that were bad to take them off of their path of acceleration and awakening of unconditional love and celebration of themselves. They could have turned off the cosmic connection. They may not even be aware of the cosmic connection, and that's another thing. You may not even be aware of the fact that you're a starseed. You may not even be aware of the fact that you have this energy or this potential inside of you, but we all have it. Not everybody is a starseed, but everybody here has that same opportunity. We all have the same, you know, bodies. We all have the same existence here. And it's not the same existence, but it's like we all have the same potential. You know, Mother Earth is here to nurture us and love us and to show us like teach us. The starseeds come in to be taught duality. They come in to anchor unconditional love here. They come in to be like antennas to receive the information so we can deliver it to others, so we can awaken others to using their intuition and to trusting themselves, to communicating with the stars, and to move forward out of darkness, you know, and to not, you know, let go of the fear of the darkness too, or to let go of that, like, oh my God, I've got darkness, so I'm never gonna rise. No, you can have darkness and still rise into light. It's becoming a place of balance. It's taking the darkness and integrating it and allowing yourself to be like, okay, that kind of sucked, but I'm gonna open up this new chapter and I'm gonna walk my truth. I'm not gonna pretend like nothing bad ever happened, but I'm not gonna allow the bad shit that happened to bring me down. I'm not gonna allow the bad shit that others have done to me to take me off my path. I'm going to use this cosmic connection that I have to accelerate my path. I'm going to breathe the free spirit that I've always been. I'm going to emanate my truth. I'm going to sway into my strength and just be who I was meant to be. Surrender into who I was meant to be and be fearless about it. Transmute and transform the stuff that just doesn't feel good. Transform the things that you know aren't serving you. Believe in yourself. And believe that through working with your shadow self, it will show you more light. So it's not like, you know, people get caught into that too, where they're like, oh, you know, if you're going to be spiritual, you can only be like focused on love and light, love and light, love and light, love and light. No, you need to experience the darkness to know the light. If you've never had a bad day, if you've never had a stomach ache, if you've never had, you know, an experience with another person that brought you down, then how can you know the darkness? You can't integrate the darkness. You can't work with your shadow self if it doesn't exist, if you've never had anything shadowy happen in your life. You know, in order to shine, you have to rise through it. And it doesn't mean that you rise through it and never happens again. It just means that every time you go through the shadow, you brighten up even more. And you have to keep going through it. You have to keep being shown it so you can keep rising and shining and emanating more unconditional love out. But you don't run away from this. You surrender into this and you allow this to happen when it happens. You allow your emotions to be there. You feel your emotions. You honor those emotions. You surrender into the shadow parts of those emotions. And you heal from within. You don't have to look outside of yourself for it. You don't have to have, you know, an 1111 portal to utilize this. But the 1111 portal just amplifies it. And it's a time to be like, hey, let's like start today on manifesting what I want to manifest. Let me get into the celestial teachings. Because you are here as a celestial teacher. If these messages resonate with you, you know, we're going to be awakening even more right now. We're tapping into the worlds within worlds. We're tapping into that multi-dimensional consciousness. We have the self-worth that we have gone through here on this planet and through all these incarnations and through all this time. Like, now is the time. We've had the patience, but we are recognizing our sacred journey is leading us to this, into creating, into manifesting, into shining and emanating and speaking our truths. You know, speaking that self-worth out there, not allowing people to keep us from it, and having compassion for ourselves and having compassion for those who may have not always seen the light in us or may have, you know, brought that darkness to us, because without those people showing us the darkness, we wouldn't know the light. So we have to, again, look for the things to be grateful for in every experience. And we have to be in a place of integrity. In order for us to rise, we have to be in integrity. And in order for us to be in integrity, we have to honor the dark and the light. We have to honor the duality that we're here to experience. And we have to honor everything that we have inside of us and everything that we have outside of us, because we are in a physical reality. We can't just pretend like we're not here. We can't just pretend like we didn't have a physical world around us and that we didn't have interactions with people that, you know, may have took us away from having hope and light and expansion. But we do have that hope, and we do anchor those lights, and we do continue to accelerate, and through our accelerating, others accelerate, and through others accelerating, more awaken. And as more awaken and more awaken and more awakening, you have a grand mass shift in consciousness. And we've already seen this happen. You know, it's almost become like trendy now for people to be awake. But I remember when I first awoken, like, nobody was talking about it. It was like, but that's, I think, how everybody feels, because we seclude ourselves. So we create our reality where we're like, oh my God, I'm crazy and I'm weird and nobody's going to understand this. So then believing that, nobody shows up around us that believes in, you know, like, we don't communicate it. We don't talk about it. We're not in integrity. We're not in our truth because we're hiding from it. But it gets to a point where you can't hide from it anymore. And it gets to a point that you've awoken to this level where you're like, I don't give a shit what people think. I don't care if people think I'm crazy or not, because this is what's happening. And you have your own confirmation that is delivered to you in every moment. And it's there if you look for it. You know, you put a video on and it's like confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. Turn the video off, go over here, and it's like confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. Look at the clock, confirmation. Look at the license plate in front of me, confirmation. Everything you do, there's a message there. And it's like, even when I interact with other people, it's like confirmation. And it can be simple things, but you have to pay attention to that. And when you pay attention to it, it speeds up and it shows you, okay, I'm on the right path. I'm on the right path. And then the things that are on your path match that vibration of being on your path. You know, like, if you want to awaken more, if you want to understand more, you want to emanate like you've already awoken and understand it so that more can come in. You don't want to go to a place of ego and be like, I'm the best, I know all. But inside, you want to be in that energy of, okay, I've been doing the work. I know, I'm understanding this. I'm integrating this. My third eye is open. I'm seeing stuff. I'm connecting with unconditional love. And it's your intention too. So you're intending to send out the highest quotient of love that you can possibly do from your heart center. And because you're intending that, that's what you're doing. And it's going to increase because you continuously emanate in that vibration, and you continuously rise because you're continuously understanding that you're in the highest vibe that you can be in, but the highest vibe that you can be in can always accelerate. So you want to just be in that truth that I'm accelerating and I am in the highest vibe that I can be in this moment, and it's going to continuously rise because I'm continuously rising. And if you have a moment where something happens, you know, where like shit hits the fan in this physical reality and you go into your shadow, well, that's okay. You go there, but you don't stay there. And right now, it's like, I don't like saying fake it till you make it, but it's kind of like that's what you need to do. I think that's a way that people can understand this, is like, you know what it looks like, tastes like, smells like, feels like to be experiencing the reality that you want to experience. So instead of focusing on the fact that that's not the experience you're in, you want to start like envisioning it, using your senses, all of your senses, your scent, your taste, you know, using your voice to speak into the conscious reality of what it is that you want to manifest and live within, to see it, dream it into being, to use your consciousness, to use your thoughts to create all of what it is that you're longing to bring forth into this 3D existence. And on the bottom of this deck, we have the Empress energy, which has been coming out all week long. The Empress is an embodiment of all of the queens. She loves, she has her pentacles, she has her self-worth, she has, you know, abundance in the physical reality outside of herself. She is in a good place in her mind. She will cut you, but she won't, you know, she'll cut you with unconditional love, because she has unconditional love for herself. She's like very like a nurturer, and she's fertile with love. You know, this can indicate pregnancy and things like that, but it's more about being fertile to create and to be abundant, to plant those seeds inside of yourself and to give birth to this new reality, and to get into the energy and vibration of abundance and allowing the abundance to come to you, and not cut yourself off from doubt and fear and insecurity. You know, we have to go through the stuff that comes along with that in order to live our lives. So instead of being afraid of somebody like, you know, turning you down, or instead of being afraid of not being able to do a certain thing, you have to take the risk. You have to jump into and experience it so that you can experience it. You know, and right now is a great time to do it. And right now is a great time to take on those decisions of that balanced union of partnership. Make that offer to yourself. When you make that offer to yourself, you open up the energetic exchange for it to be offered to you from your counterpart, or from soulmates, or from people who are meant to be in your life, or from spirit. It allows for that offering to be placed back and forth. And when you do that, life is going to open up. Things are going to be enhanced. Everything is going to keep expanding. Everything is going to continue flowing in the vibration that you're in. So it's really important to not be in a low vibe. You know, you don't want to do that. You've got the world available to you right now. The world is yours to create. You get to dictate how you create it. You get to dictate who's in that experience with you, and you get to dictate who and what and where and how it's going to be. So you want to do it from a good vibe, not a low vibe. And it's okay to go to a low vibe, but try to shift it up, particularly right now through this energy. And as we go into the Pleiadian energy, you know, I will do more information about that as we get closer to that. But be mindful of the fact that things are going to happen around you. You know, that energy is here. It's amplified right now because of the 1111. So it's like we've got these two things working off of each other, but none of it is bad. So don't go to a place of fear. And don't be afraid if in the back of your mind you have a bad thought. Cancel, clear, delete it, and readjust it to what it is that you actually want. So if you're longing for something, if you're longing for someone, if you're longing for a place or like a certain vibration or whatever it is that you need, whether it be connected to your finances, you know, you are the one that gets to take the first step into feeling like you've got abundance around you. And when you feel like you've got abundance around you, more abundance comes around you. So you just continue to do that. You continue to be in that high priestess energy, looking through the bullshit. You're not allowing people to bring you down. You're not allowing yourself to bring you down. You've got that high priestess, I got my shit together. You got the Empress, creative pursuits. You've got that fertile energy to give to others. You've got all this cosmic stuff going on around you. Now is an amazing time to get rid of the illusions, to get rid of addictions, to get rid of patterns that you know aren't serving you, to get rid of the stuff that just isn't there anymore. Use this powerful energy to manifest, to take care of the things that you've been like sweeping under the rug, to look into the darkness of yourself, into the shadow of yourself, to clear up anything that's in there that you've been afraid of. You know, you don't want to fear it, because when you fear it, you manifest more of it. It's time to make that partnership, that union to you, to rise into this expansion and to rise into that love, into that energy that you just have been wanting in your life, that you've been hoping for. And when you do that, everything comes together, you know. And the Queen of Cups, again, is like that high priestess energy. It's that energy of the Empress. It's unconditional love for self. When you emanate unconditional love out for yourself, others are going to love you unconditionally. And when you love others unconditionally, it opens up the doorway for them to love themselves unconditionally and love you unconditionally. And when you love all of your creations, the good, the bad, and the in-between, it assists you into manifesting more. And I'm not saying love the bad shit, but look at it as like a death for rebirth. If something bad happened when you separated from somebody, look at the opportunity that was there to see what didn't work in your reality. Oh, and the Magician energy is big. And you may be having like 717, 17, 777. You may have obviously the 1111s. There's going to be 2s and there's going to be a lot of 8s. So pay attention to those. Take time to be still in those moments, to connect with that magical energy, or to connect with the consciousness that's coming in at that point, because it's a download for your consciousness to give you information and downloads. And the information and downloads are going to be speeding up. And we got the Queen of Pentacles here. So the manifestations within the physical realm, within your money, within your finances, within the things that are coming to you. You may be getting gifted things. You may be giving gifted big things. You may be having like a complete shift in your reality. You know, like my reality has shifted so much in the past week. You know, I went from like worrying about stuff a couple weeks ago to being like, I don't have to worry ever again. And being in that vibe allows you for more and more to just flow to you. So be in that vibe of not having to worry about your physical existence, and you won't. Allow a death of the old. Allow yourself to have that embracing of the balance inside of you, and just continue to ripple that out to others so that others can awaken to this, so that others can understand the cosmic connection that they have, whether they're a starseed or not, whether they're in a twin flame type of journey or not. We're all here on this earth to experience this life and to experience everything that's here for us. So tap into your fullest potential right now and keep riding these energy waves into abundance and love. So I hope you have a beautiful night. If you like the video, you can like and subscribe. That helps other people to see it, and that helps like the channel get more peoples. And if you'd like a private reading or to connect with me, all of my links are down below for upcoming events. If you want to make a positive energy exchange for the videos to help me continue to make more videos and help me figure out how to get like everything done, that would be great. In Munay, Namaste.